Donald Trump is now facing possible early removal from office. We heard from the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi this morning saying that if he isn't removed using the 25th Amendment, she may move forward with impeachment. What is the likelihood of either of these happening?
Well, look, they're both very difficult options, whichever way you go. Impeachment is a somewhat lengthy process, and to try to compress that inside 13 days may be too difficult to pull off. But even beginning the process might in itself be a statement. The 25th Amendment is something else entirely. This is completely untested. This is an amendment that was passed in the 60s after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Now, what it allows for is for the Vice President and a majority of the Cabinet to band together and to notify the President that he is no longer able to fulfil his duties and that he's being removed, and that the Vice President would then immediately assume the presidency. Now, that's a lot to ask of any Cabinet at any time. And this is Section 4 of the 25th Amendment. It's completely untested. It's never been tried. The logistics, we don't even know what they would look like. But I can tell you this. You know, we've got the Speaker of the House, a Democrat, calling for the 25th Amendment to be invoked, or she says we'll move to impeach. The Democratic leader of the Senate has called for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. So has a Republican congressman called for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. Now, everyone from President Trump's former Attorney General to his Secretary of Defense to his former Chief of Staff, they're saying that he has betrayed his office. Look, they're even now saying that, well, put it this way, no one from the Republican Party on Capitol Hill is denying that conversations about removing the president under the 25th Amendment are taking place. Clearly, it's being seriously considered. It's a big ask. We'll have to see what, if anything, happens.
And Joe Biden this morning was very strong in his words during the address. He's laying blame for yesterday's events with Donald Trump. What we haven't seen yet, Michael, is Donald Trump come out and condemn the scenes we saw yesterday.
No, we have not seen President Trump condemn the scenes. In fact, there's some reporting on one of the networks here that he was almost encouraged or almost, encouraging the demonstrations from within his office. Now, as you know, he spoke to the rally. He said, "I will walk with you to the Capitol building." And then he turned around and drove the other way to the White House. And we saw what happened. And now President Trump is apparently isolated. People are trying to avoid him. The White House staff are resigning. A cabinet secretary has resigned. It's complete chaos. And, President Trump issued a very muted message yesterday saying to the rioters and the insurrectionists, respect the police, be peaceful. But he never told them to stop, and he certainly didn't condemn them. And he issued that in a video on Twitter. Well, he can't do that again because he's now banned from Twitter indefinitely, and he's now banned from Facebook indefinitely. So once Joe Biden was officially declared the next president of the United States at about 4 a.m. in Washington, D.C. this morning, President Trump had to put out a statement through a deputy's Twitter account because the president can no longer rant and rave on those platforms.
Certainly an extraordinary set of events. Michael Ware, we have to leave it there. Appreciate your time this morning.